Ain is saying any age limit on this platform. No age limit. Anyone wants to transform their life, that's the place. So please invite friends. So the goal is for AM Live is to inspire each other. And most importantly, you see, my desire is to talk to people who want to grow themselves. So a number of times, many people have been asking me, what you're saying is not practical, it's not real. Guys, come on. You know, I can't change your life. That's one thing that I want to remind you as well starting today's show. I can't change your life. The only person who can change your life is you. And I need to help you. I'm not in a position to change your life. The only person who can change your life is you. And it's not even your husband who's going to change your life. It's not even anyone. It's you. Which is the reason why I want us to make this focus on why we should grow up. Why we should kura, if we're going to use the language called Shona. Why? Because a number of times, one of the things that is so disturbing is you find that a number of people were still at the same level, but I think we should be at a better level altogether. You see, if you plant any crops, one of the things that you're actually looking for is growth. Is there particular growth? So in your career, you want to see growth. In your relationship, you want to see growth. In your marriage, you want to see growth. In general, in your life, you also want to see growth. My friend, Mr. Peter Mtas is watching. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Mkoma. So we really need to focus on this aspect of growing. And how do you grow? I'm actually going to end the conversation with the tips, the practical tips on how you can grow your life, how you can develop and how you can move yourself from where you are. Remember, one of the conversations that I'm always making, I'm referring to the story of the four lepers. Those who read the Bible, these are the guys who say, why are we sitting here until we die? They realize that we can't be at the same level. We can't be complaining about life. That's why I want all of us today to make a commitment that I'm going to grow up, I'm going to mature up, and I'm going to start making serious decisions about life. But you see, I need to start by isolating and defining basic concepts. There is something called growing old, and there's something called growing up. You see, a number of our problems are coming from people who are just growing old without growing up. I need to repeat this point. A number of our problems, they are coming from people who are merely growing old instead of growing up. So what's the difference? You see, growing old is a function of nature. If you're a human being and you're not dead, eventually and inevitably, you're going to grow old. So if you're 1, next year you're going to be 2, and it's going to progress. So growing old is a function of nature. You don't plan to grow old. So a number of our problems are coming from people who are merely growing old. So what's the difference between growing old and growing up? What's the difference? The difference is quite simple. Number 1, growing old is a function of nature, but growing up is a function of decisions. You will not grow up accidentally. You will grow up by choice, meaning the quality of your choices have to be different. The quality of your attitude has to be different. You see, a number of people, they are so much celebrating birthdays without focusing on the amount of development that is accompanying those years. So, yes, it's good to celebrate your birthday, but what is the progress that we can see in your life? What is it that actually shows that you are growing in your life? That's why right now, somebody will get to 40. They don't have anything, no particular qualification. They are still being taken care of by their parents. You are simply growing old. You are not growing up. You can even know this from a family setup. Right now, a number of us, we are busy looking after people in our family. Some are even siblings who are merely growing old and they're not growing up. So one of the things that I want to ask is, what is a sign that shows someone is growing up? I think, like I said, growing old, number 1, is a choice. Meaning, when I look into your life, when I start looking into how you're doing your things, there must be evidence that somebody is showing serious signs of actually growing up. So I believe, number 1, the key indicator of growing up is the ability to take charge of your life. I need to repeat this. Take charge of your life. Guys, I'm coming from a very humble background, which is one of the things that I'm always telling people. It always keeps me humble. Why? I lost my father when I was 18 years of age, grew up with a single mother. I love my mother so much, eh? And that very single mother went into the streets, sold bananas for me to go to university, for me to be able to be looking what I'm looking like today. But guess what? I'm whatever age right now. It's a sign of madness at my age to say that I am miserable. Alternatively, in Shona Ndruita Chirombe, because Baba Wakafa. That's a sign of immaturity. Right now, a number of people were holding on failed relationships. We're holding on failed marriages. We're holding on the past to explain why our lives are not changing. You see, why I tell people about where I'm coming from, in particular why I'm coming from that paternal orphanage background, is to speak to someone who's in a similar situation. But come on, you can't be 30 and you're still saying, I lost my parents, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. No. One thing that shows maturity is the ability to take responsibility for your life. In other words, make a commitment that you're not going to be a crybaby. Make a commitment that you're not going to be blaming anybody for your misery. You're not going to be blaming anybody for your poverty. Mature people don't look for people to blame. Mature people, they take responsibility. Mature people, they realize, okay, I might not have the best of starts in life, but I need to make a conscious decision to realize that if I don't take action, if I don't take steps to improve my life is going to be in the same place. You see, a number of times why I'm having this conversation is because, I travel a lot. I look around at what people are doing. And I'm beginning to question a number of times the level of maturity. You see, one thing about maturity is it gives you an understanding that you are the person. You don't look around and you don't look at your neighbor for transformation of your life. You don't look far off from where you are. You make a conscious decision to realize that you design the type of life that you want. Guys, I need to help you. You see, one thing about me, I'm not in the business of helping people feel good about themselves. If you want someone who can make you feel good about yourself, I'm the wrong person. But if you want somebody who's going to make you uncomfortable and is going to challenge you to say, dude, my sister, you can shift your life, I'm the person. Why? Because I believe the moment we change the quality of our conversations, that's the moment we change the type of life that we're living. You see, a number of us, we rather listen to entertaining conversations rather than to abrasive, practical conversations that are making uncomfortable. That's why I want us to focus on maturing. Grow up. You see, guys, right now, kune wanu, sorry, I'm going to say this in Shona, then I'll translate. Kune wanu right now, warukuchengetwa wakura wanendevu. Able-bodied, not even sick on their body. Why? Because they have a sense of entitlement, which is one of the reasons why I think our country is even where it is. We have a sense of entitlement. That my brother is in the UK, they're going to take care of me. My sister is working hard, she's money, she's going to take care of me. That sense of entitlement, that's a clear sign. That's a clear sign of immaturity. This is the reason why I'm always telling people, a number of the parasites that you have to fight in life, they are your relatives. The people who don't look for you, they don't even look for you. They only look for you when they want something. Why? Because they're immature. They don't believe in relationships. They believe in the byproducts of a relationship, yet they don't develop the focus of our relationship. You see, guys, why is this conversation important? Because we also need to have this conversation at family level where we challenge each other in our family to grow up. There is nothing as painful as one child in a family being expected to take care of adults. That's a sign of immaturity. A sense of entitlement. No, and so forth, guys. We need to get rid of this entitlement mindset where some people just think simply because they've got a number with +44, alternatively +27, alternatively +1, alternatively +264, you have got the responsibility to send money to them. No, let's help people grow up. Are you with me? Let's help people grow up. You see, my background, I've told my little brothers, my family, guys, everybody has got a responsibility to build their lives. No, I won't just pretend and tell you that because I worked hard and built success, I'm just going to hand you over on the silver platter. No, we don't operate that way. People have to grow. people have to grow. Imi, rambai kushandiswa. Last time we were talking about rambai kushandiswa. Sorry guys, those who don't understand, Sean, I'm going to translate this. Imi, rambai kushandiswa. It's a number of times. The number of people, one is a drain on us. My relatives, my parasites, one okuziwa. Munhu anozoti kana twake turi right akutsvaga hana inewe hati kusendere kana komi back yongoti unonzwa kuti mamuka sei. This is the type of relationships that many of us were in. Anokutsvaga kana ava pachipande. You already know what I'm talking about right now. There are certain people right now you don't even know the last time you talked to. But when they're looking for you, you're best guaranteed after I recite mutupo, they want money. Refuse kushandiswa. Refuse exploitation. Resist it. You see, a number of times, as long as you're sure that it's possible, that people can do it, you're in trouble. That's why I want to say, guys, let's speak the message from family level. And please, I want you to cut a part of this video, send it to the person you know asiri kuda kukura. Iwe, nayo, nokukura kwa kushua, unota mkazi, unakuendeswa mkazi kuma maternity. Unoda kutengerwa manapkin, unoda kutengerwa chikafu chemwana. Unoda zvidi. Vanhu vasikuda kukura. Unoda kutorojerwa. Hasikuda kukura. Guys, chatiuraya, what is killing us really is we don't want to be able to confront this. We don't want to tell people the truth. That, dude, grow up, mature up. You see, if you're in the diaspora and watching me right now, guys, you've got the responsibility to protect yourself from people who also don't want to grow. For some weird reasons, the people who think that if you're in the diaspora, you simply walk around town and you pick money. There are a number of people who think if you're in the UK, if you're in the United States, money is so easy. You can quickly get it. You see, this is the reason why I say we've got the responsibility. We've got a responsibility to protect ourselves and even protect the very same people in our families by telling them these practical conversations and say, guys, grow up, mature. You see, one of the things that actually disturbs me a lot is, I think the guys in the diaspora can actually connect with this. You see, somebody will send you a request, they want A, B, C, D. You ask them, why do you want it? They just say, no, everyone has got it. So, the guys in the diaspora, the number of times you get people asking for money, don't think it's money to start a business. Usually it's for a Brazilian, Usually it's for an iPhone Pro Max. Something that costs about $1,500. And for some weird reasons, they think about that money at your disposal. Quickly. Guys, I want us to make this conversation normal, where we challenge each other. Kura. Grow up. Mature. Begin to do things in a better way. Begin to make decisions that are better. Why? Because there is no maturity as long as you are not taking responsibility for your life. Guys, you don't need to be prayed for you to mature. It's a decision. You don't need an altar call for you to grow up. You don't need an all-night prayer for you to grow up. It's a decision. It's a choice. It's a choice growing up. You see, guys, it's not like I don't want people to live a good life. No, what I don't like are people who want to pretend as if they've arrived when they've not arrived. That's why my message is always saying, guys, let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to the basics. Let's build the foundation. But you see, right now, look at some of the people. You have an iPhone Pro Max. I'm giving you a very simple example here. You have an iPhone Pro Max. Call me back. Guys, ukaona une iPhone Pro Max. Yaunoshandisa kutumira call me back. Auna kukwana. I'm going to repeat. Ukaona une iPhone Pro Max. Yawakaseva mari kuti utenge. Yokutumira call me back. Kana yokushandisa kuborowa airtime kunena service provider. Auna kukwana, auna kukura. This is why I'm saying we need to focus on growing up. You see, one of the things, you can actually be at a very mature level. Guys, I was forced to grow up early. My father died early. The next thing I realized, no, I have no luxury. I have to be serious with my life. I have to ensure that I've developed, if my life and the life of my family is going to grow, I don't need to act funny. So you see, a number of people think I'm actually very old. No, I'm not. The mind that I have now, the exposure that I have forced me to grow. That's why if I've got money, the first thing that I think of is not pizza. I think of development. You see, a number of people who are not grown, they're simply feeding the tummy instead of feeding the mind, feeding the future. You see, right now, if you're not careful, you can actually add 10 more years to your life right now. 10 more years life. And I want you to imagine what you're doing right now, if we give you 10 more years, doing the very same things, where do you think your life is going to be? 10 more years from what you're doing right now. If I give you 10 more years doing exactly the same things that you're going to do, where do you think your life is going to be? You see, right now what I think many of us need to do is to sit down and do a maturity audit. On a scale of 1 to 10, how mature are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you actually think you need to focus on growing? You see, right now, one of the things in Zimbabwe, guys, if you're not actually careful in Zimbabwe presents to you, I need to repeat this, Zimbabwe presents to you perfect excuses and perfect justification for chirombe. Kana uri muZimbabwe une right, I'm going to repeat this, unotori ne right yokuita chirombe. Why? Because the conditions are right. Unongomuka uchiti kune rate, the prices are going up, hausi kunyepa. Ukatoti black market, hausi kutonyepa. Uri kutotaura chokwadi. But the question I'm asking you is, how do you think your life is going to be changed by excuses? Maturity, growing up, resides and is found at the level where you take responsibility for your life. Refuse to blame the dead. Hey, Baba wangu wakati asina chunu. Guys, let's help each other here. Let the dead rest. Are you with me? Let the dead rest. You see, in Africa, we don't have that habit where we bury the dead and leave them alone. That's why we go back and say, we want you to help us, even though those dead were actually struggling during their lifetime. I'm saying, mature, take charge of your life. Sit down with yourself and realize that the life that you want is actually within your reach, but you need to get to a level where you begin to be seriously serious with your life. And once you get to the realm where you begin to be seriously serious with your life, you begin to see your life change. Guys, right now, kuda moment right now, ane marie data, but ana marie utanga small business. I'm going to papa WhatsApp, I'm papa Facebook. They're busy watching people living their lives. And the next thing, they are now using the very same data to ask for money. Grow up, mature. You see, one of the things that I'm so passionate about is to say, guys, we don't have an excuse. Even if you're in Zimbabwe. I'm not saying the conditions are easy. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I want you to be able to take control of what you can take control of. I want you to be able to take charge of what you can take charge of. You see, guys, those who don't know, I'm a lawyer by profession, eh? I've had the privilege these past few weeks of sitting down with clients who are buying properties in the thousands in US dollars in Zimbabwe. These are people who are in business. These are people who are actually saying, things are happening during this time. Why? Because some people have decided not to find an excuse. Some people have decided to start looking for reasons why their lives will change. You see, ukamirira kuti zvinhu zvinochinja muZimbabwe unosvika pakuvigwa wakangomirira. Ukangomirira uchingochema zvakazoti unosvika pakuchemwa uchingochema. That's why I'm saying, guys, we need to grow up. You can't be just buying my Mercedes-Benz, parking them upamba pasiri pako. Uchiroja. Nobody grow up. And now take a stand. Vaka something. Start a small business. Start something that can give an extra income. Your life will change. Remember last time we were in conversation about Ramba kushandiswa. Vanu vakura, vanu vamachua, vanu ramba kushandiswa. So guys, I'm saying the good part of maturity is it allows you to take responsibility for the direction of your life. You see, one of the things that I have refused is to think that someone is going to change my life. No, I refuse. No, I refuse. Every day I wake up, I know myself, no one is coming to change my life. I know that. No one is coming to change my life. Guys, my family, let's also make these conversations normal. Brother yako, any life yake. Sister yako, in life yako. In life yako. They also have their own lives. Don't be a burden by simply refusing to be serious with your life. Yet you want serious results. You see, many people are seriously not serious. Many people, I'm going to repeat this, they are seriously not serious. That's why they think they can pray for change, yet they don't want to change. You see, I need to help you. Guys, you can go in an all-night prayer, but as long as you don't do the part that you are supposed to do as a human being, as long as you don't do the part that you're supposed to do as a human being, you will be one of the most frustrated human beings on this earth. Why? I want you to take responsibility for your life. Maturity reflects in the quality of choices you make. I said number one, maturity reflects in the ability to take responsibility. Number two, maturity reflects in the quality of choices. You see, you don't choose your past, but I've got good news. You choose your future. You don't choose your past, but you choose your future. This is one thing that I want to understand. You don't choose your past, you choose your future. Meaning, you might not have started very well. You might not have had a good start in life. But once you realize that as long as you're alive, you've got a responsibility. You've got a responsibility to change your life. You have a responsibility to make your life better. And no man is coming to do that for you. Which is why I want us to make this talk normal. I want us to make this talk normal. Let's make it normal. Make quality choices. Make better choices. You see, guys, my heart burns really when I see people who are focusing so much on lifestyle. It's okay to have a good life. In fact, I enjoy a good life. But I've got a problem with people who are making choices to try to impress people, which is the majority of our problems right now. We're waking up every day to impress people who don't care. You wake up every day, you're going to enable to stay so that you can tell people that are staying in X, Y, Z. And the very same people are trying to impress, they don't care. You see, when you're mature, your choices begin to be shaped and informed more by where you want to go. The direction of your life becomes so important that you don't focus more on the opinions. In other words, what people say about you. You begin to focus seriously on what you want to see, what you want to experience. That's why, right now, as I'm speaking, kune vanhu vane zvikwereti zvema-school fees. Right now, in US dollars. Right now, as I'm speaking, kune vanhu vane zvikwereti zverent. Kwari kugara ma-apartments, they don't call them my flats, my apartments. Kwari kuroja 500 US. Why? Because the quality of decisions, it's so much influenced by the need to impress people. But you see, if you want to see whether or not a person is mature, is grown up or not, look at the quality of decisions. If I give you money, what do you do with it? The quality of decisions. So something has to become better. The actions have to become better. So once you take charge of your choices, take charge of the decisions that you're making, the actions begin to become different. So, everybody, you have a responsibility to grow yourself. Everybody, you've got a responsibility to grow your life. So quickly, I want to give you some steps that I think are critical if you want to grow your life. I don't think I'll be able to finish, so I think we'll finish next week. But you see, one of the things that I think is quite fundamental is the issue of intentionality. Guys, we need to be intentional. you really, really need to be intentional. You see, many people, we really don't want to change our lives. We kind of want to change our lives. Shawan, what will bring about the transformation in your life is the ability to say, I'm tired. I'm tired. As long as you're still smiling at your situation, as long as you're still entertaining your situation, as long as you're tolerating your situation, you are not ready to change your life. As long as you are still finding peace in what you're going through, you cannot change your life. There's one statement that I always say: you cannot liberate a happy slave from slavery. I need to read this. You cannot liberate a happy slave from slavery. A number of us, we are so comfortable in what we're doing. The nonsense we're doing right now is making so much sense that any idea to the contrary is now nonsense. You never grow as long as you're justifying what you're doing. As long as you're defending what you're doing every time. As long as it's making sense to you. You never change your life. But what brings about change is intentionality. I'm tired. I'm tired. You see, once you get to that level, I'm tired, you're about to change. You see, I get to be frustrated. A number of people tell me, no, what they're saying doesn't work. Come on. I'm not here to please people. I don't sell ice cream. I'm here to tell you the basic things. Number one, your life is going to change. The good news, you have to change it. If you don't want, no one is doing it. Simple. If somebody is going to tell you that someone is going to come from nowhere and they're going to change your life, they don't like you. You see, I've always been repeating these things. You know, unfortunately, the conversations have to be very practical and a bit painful as well. If you don't grow up and mature, you're going to wait for people who have grown up and people who have matured. If you don't want to grow up, you will always be waiting for people who have grown up. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, are you a grown-up person? Are you growing? Are you really mature? You see, growth is so easy to see. It's so easy. I don't need to know you for 10 years, for 5 years. I just need to have a brief conversation with you. And I'll quickly be able to see whether or not you've grown. So, I want to give you the things that I think are quite critical. Number one, the first thing that I think important for growth. And I want you to write the word growth, Growth, going down. I'm going to give you quickly the principles. Then I'll be able to terminate this conversation. And by the way, those who haven't followed us on our social media platforms, I want you to like our subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be posting this video as well on YouTube. That's why I want you to be part and parcel so that you don't miss out. So one thing that I think is important for you to grow, the first G, is the importance of goals. Yeah, setting goals. Many people, they're waking to a goalless life. Every day, goalless life. They don't have a sense of direction. Pakatoita mota right now, we're going to Mashingo. Chirasna trip ku Mashingo. They will go. Ande. Why pata mota? Ande to gocha. Iwe. Kwanza ande tino gocha now. Nyamacho watengeri. Iso zuda ungojigazo hosna watengeri. That's a sign of immaturity. Growth comes through goals. Goals. What's the target of your life? What is the life that you want to see? What's the picture of success? Now, I always say something. Many people are afraid to die, but they don't have a reason to live. Many people, they're afraid to die, but they don't have a reason to live. That's why every day we wake up and pray, Father, we thank you for the gift of life. Father, you give life, you give health. Okay, I hear that. But what do you want to do with a long life? What is the goal for your life? You see, if you don't have goals for your life, the bulk of the times, like what my good friend says, you will be what is called in Shona, chamuka inyama. And this is the level many people are operating, the chamuka inyama level. They don't have goals. They don't have goals. You see, the soccer season is back. But you see, what makes soccer interesting is not grown-up men running. No. What makes soccer exciting is not people just chasing the ball. It's people realizing that we can be very smart. We can be passing balls. We can be dribbling. But if we don't score, there are no goals. So what makes the sport of soccer exciting is the understanding that we need to wake up, focus on our goals. What is it that you want with your life? You see, a number of us, we've got smartphones. No offense. Many people are not smart users. So the challenge now is you've got a smartphone in the hands of a dull user. But the smartphone is actually supposed to make your life easy. How to organize your life. Document your goals. Set priorities as to what you want to see. Set priorities. This is what I want to see in my life. This is how I'm going to track. You see, a number of us, we've got phones whose functions we don't know. The only function many people know in our phones is Instagram, Picasa, and we know WhatsApp. You know, guys, how do you change your life with WhatsApp? How do you change your life with these apps? Put productivity applications. Put them. Then help track your goals, your progress. Where are you going with your life? You see, Solomon says something very interesting. He says, where there is no vision, the people perish. That's a very deep statement. A number of people, the only type of vision they have is a television. That's why we can't leave our television screens. A number of people, we don't have any form of vision, just television. So I want us to be able to get to that level. Get to that level where you ask yourself, what is the life that I want? Where do I want to go with my life? Guys, it's not complicated. It's asking yourself common sense goals. Number one, where am I right now? Why? Because if you're planning, you need to know from where you're standing. Number two, where do I want to go? Because you need to have a destination. Number three, how do I go there? But you see, one of the things that I tell people, if you want to board a bus, if in Africa, you go to a bus terminus. But once you go to a bus terminus, if you ask for a particular direction, if you're in Zimbabwe, the first thing that I'll ask you, if you're asking for any type of buses, is where do you want to go? Why? Because destination is actually more important than speed. Where are you going? You see, this is the reason why a number of us right now, Tareta Mari, and we even tell people, Ndakamboita Mari, but you don't even know where it went. Right now, there are people who are talking Ndakamboita Mari, Sanzotagenda Kupi. No more symptoms that I exakura. Munati kure, people are mature, they track their money. That's why you've got an instrument called budgeting, planning, where you tell your money where to go, rather than wonder where the money has gone. So what is the goal of your life? You see, what changed my life was sleeping on the floor, having a mother selling bananas, being chased by ZRP police, municipality police. And I say, Mama, you won't be a vendor for your life, for the rest of your life. It's a phase. And when I went to university, I had a clear goal. I need to be serious. I had a clear goal. I need to focus. I had a clear goal. I need life to be better for my family. And guess what? I thank God we've managed to do something. Now my goal is say, let's have more people on this journey to say, I want to change my life. I want my life to be different. Set goals. And once you set goals, they're going to give you a sense of purpose. They're going to give you a sense of discipline. Right now, you see, a number of people, they'll tell you, no, they can't watch this live because it will use their data. But what is actually taking your data right now? Look at the type of content you're watching on Facebook. Is it making your life better? Is it changing the trajectory of your life? Is your life becoming better because of what you're watching? Goals. Set goals. The next thing that I think is very important if you want your life to grow is to enter into a restless mode. Enter into a restless mode. You see, the sign that your life is going to go nowhere is the moment where you begin to embrace what you're going through now and you give up. Many people in Zimbabwe have given up. They've surrendered their lives to politicians. That's why they wait for the next election. They think the next election is going to change their life. Guys, it's not an election that changes your life. No, it's not. But what changes your life is you making an election to change your life. That's what changes your life. It's not an election that's going to change your life. It's you making an election to change your life. In other words, choosing to change your life. That's why I want you to get to the restless mode where you refuse to be comfortable. Refuse to embrace your status quo. You see, Dennis Waitley says something very interesting, and I actually write it in one of my books. I'm going to recommend, if you haven't read it, The Personal Development Toolkit. I want you to read this book. It's going to challenge you. I actually share some of these principles here. You see, Dennis Waitley says there are two primary choices in life. Number one, to accept things as they are, or to take responsibility for changing them. Two responsibilities in life. Number one, to accept things as they are. In other words, I was born poor, I'll die poor. Alternatively, I was born poor, I want to be poor. Two responsibilities. Embrace things as they are. Alternatively, to accept responsibility for changing them. But how do you change things? You get to a level where you say, I'm tired. Enough is enough. You see, you need to do what is called a personal revolution. A personal revolution. So what precedes any revolution? Study history. I've written a book on history. The French Revolution. What precedes any revolution is discontent. People saying, I'm tired of being tired. Get to that level, at a personal level, where you say you are tired of the status quo. You are tired of being tired. Something has to change. You see, the moment you get to that level where you say, I'm tired, I can't do this anymore, that's the moment your life is going to change. But you need to get to the restless mode. Restless mode. You see, a number of people, we don't want to get to this restless mode. We don't. We want life easy. This is the reason why many people are going to die broke. We want things happen easy. This is the reason why many people are going to die and be buried broke. We want things that are easy. We want things that are easy. Guys, life is what you make it. Life is what you make it. And I want you to make that conscious decision to make wise and better decisions for your life. But how do you do it? Get to the restless mode. Unfortunately, time is moved. I need to round up now. So I'm going to finish on the other principles on the growth model next week. So I want you to sit down with yourself today. Sit down with yourself. Are you happy with where your life is? Guys, are you happy with where your life is? If you're not happy, you are my candidate. I'm so happy. If you are happy with where your life is, you have no reason to change it. That's why one of my favorite talk is called hashtag This Is Nonsense. Yes, hashtag This Is Nonsense. Your life begins to change when you get to the level that this is nonsense. So, my team and I, we've got some exciting projects coming right now. I think many of us, we watched the first webinar. If you didn't watch the webinar, I'm going to ensure that we post the link, but it's going to be for a limited time. I'm going to post that link. I want you to watch the webinar again, and I want you to experience how people are making money online. This is not a pyramid scheme, by the way. You're going to get the principles, and I want you to go on YouTube right now, on my channel, Marara. There is a snippet of that webinar, just 10 minutes. I want you to be able to watch it, see how other people are making their lives move forward. And once you see that, we've got good news. We're going to be running webinar number 2. Webinar number 2, where we're going to take you now in greater detail as to how other people are actually making their lives change financially. Guys, remember, your financial destiny is going to change not because of a salary. If your boss pays you your true value, you'll be broke. No one can pay you your true value. That's why I always remind people what a salary is. A salary comes from a Latin word called salarium. Salarium, that's the word that gives us the word salt. So if you're on a salary, what in essence you're getting is salt. And salt is simply supposed to just balance things a bit. That's why you just put a bit of it. So salt was meant then to be the remuneration given to soldiers during the time of the Roman Empire. So they were paid in salt. So in modern times, the people are now paid in salary, which is basically a salt allowance. That's why if you see your salary is not enough, that's part of the maturity. You need to grow up. You need to mature. You need to kura and think. Think. Guys, if you don't think for yourself, I have bad news. Someone will think for you and they'll make money through you. If you don't think for yourself, someone will think for you and they'll make money through you. That's why having multiple streams of income is a necessity. It's no longer a luxury. A mature person does not just wake up and say, I'm going to work. My office is pretty big. It's air conditioned. I even get fuel allowance. That's why I remind people a salary is a toy given to adults so that they continue coming to work. A salary is someone's estimation of your value. That's a salary. So for 30 days, if you're earning whatever, you put it over 30 to give you an idea of how much you're worth per day. Put it over 8 to give you an idea of how much you're worth per hour. So Munakura, they realize that they can't wait for 30 days before they make money. Guys, let me repeat this. Chances are high kuti mwenzi wacho unozopera iwe wapera. Chances are high kana uchimirira kuti mwenzi upere. Chances are high kuti mwenzi unopera iwe watopera kudhara. This is the reason why we're coming up with this program. So where we get to open each other's minds and say, what can you do with yourself? What can you do with your skills? Because every day, you don't wake up and tell wana politics. Guys, don't even don't wake up and tell wana politics. A mature person realize that kana wapedza kutaura politics dzako, vanoda kudya, vanoda ona TV, vanoda enda kuchikoro. A mature person realize that, guys, atigonomukira from 8 a.m. to the following day talking politics. You're not even a politician. Some of them are not even registered to vote. But you go to politics, left, right, center, left, right, center, left, right, center. You're not even in the voters' roll. So what am I asking? Get it serious. Let's be serious. Develop yourself. Stretch yourself. Someone was saying, how do you stretch yourself in Zimbabwe? Hey, no, the conditions are not okay. Guys, remember, that's all something very interesting here. You can't change your life, right? You won't change it. But if you're saying, I want to change my life, but I don't know how, you are the person I want to work with. You are the right person. So a number of people have been asking me just now, we now need to conclude. You guys have been very patient. A number of people have been asking me where to get our books. Yeah, you can link up with us in our inbox. So this is one of my books called The Personal Development Toolkit. This book is very important because it's sharing with you fundamental thoughts on how to move your life from where you are to where you ought to be. That's one of my favorite books. I share principles, 12 principles that you need to run with in order for you to grow yourself. 12 principles. It will help you. It will stretch you. It will develop you. Then the next book that I wrote is called Keys to Effective Time Management. Guys, time is money. I've written 15 books. Time is money. If you don't understand time is money, try to call on Econet without airtime. They call it airtime. So you see, a number of us were not going to grow because we don't value time. So I'm saying we need to get to that level where we respect our time, where you wake up every day with a sense of purpose. So that's one of my books. I want you to read it as well. And if you've got children, I've written this book. It's called Keys to Academic Excellence. This book is going to help you be disciplined. This book, Keys to academic excellence. So if you want any of these books, we're going to put the number on the comment section, but the number is +263 718 867 255 +263 718 867 255. We'll be happy to talk to you. And those who have not yet subscribed to our social media platforms, I want you to follow this page. We do this every Monday. It's my hope one day we should be able to have 1,000 plus more people watching this thing live, so that we get to inspire and encourage more people. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, it's Arthur Marara, I want you to please go there, just subscribe. We'll be posting new content every week. So ngatisende video iyi kune vanhu vese vasati vakura, vanhu vatiri kuziva kuti hama dzedu dzinonetsa kuti tiudze, sendai video iyi kuti baba kurai, hamugoni kuchengeterwa mukadzi nemumwe murume, kana watoti wada mukadzi timinzo wakura, chengeta wega. Isi vanhu vanonyepera vanonzi mukadzi wangu abatsirwa ndaita emergency. Guys, kwana yawo mana, hapana emergency panhumbu 9 months, hapana emergency, hakuna chonzi ndaita emergency mukadzi wangu abatsirwa, kusatokwana ikoko. Ndibatsirewo mukadzi wangu hata toda kuita start, iwo ndoda kustart inozoitwa after 9 months. So I want more and more people to be selfish in a positive way. Selfish in the sense that, number one, you've got the responsibility to develop the family around you. Develop them. And once you develop them, tell them that you need to grow. You need to grow. Tafazo, if you're watching, please just kindly pin the number so that people can also get connected with us. But those who haven't heard the number, it's +263 718 867 255 +263 718 867 255. Guys, it's been a great pleasure speaking to you. I wish we could do this all day, but guys, time won't allow us, and internet is expensive. My Zoho providers so I need to be hanging up now. But it's been a great pleasure speaking to you. And someone was saying as emergency in 9 months. Guys, I wouldn't emergency in 9 months, man. That's why I'm always telling people the bulk of the things we're calling emergency. I see emergency. Kusango kurachit. Kusango rongeka. Like emergency I feel, guys, come on. We know we're going to die. Get a funeral cover. Period. Common sense. Get a funeral cover. You're going to get sick. Get funeral cover. So let's put the number +263 718 867 255. I want us to get in touch. Then I'm seeing some guys coming through on YouTube and subscribing. So guys, I love you so much. It's my hope and prayer that we're going to be connecting next time. And many thanks to Tafazo Mantinika, the guy behind the scenes. You won't see him there, but he makes the week go round and round. And many thanks as well to my young brother Alan Marara. He's the one that ensures that I'm looking decent for these videos. And thanks so much to everyone who's tuning in from the diaspora. It's been great connecting with you on WhatsApp. I've also given you my number on WhatsApp. So if you inbox +263 718 867 255, that's also my WhatsApp number. I'll be happy to get to talk to you, and we'll be sending you more details. Then if you want to be part and parcel of the webinar, please be following our page and get to see the updates that we're making. +263 718 867 255. Then we've also put again the link to the previous webinar. I want you to watch it and be inspired. Guys, you're awesome. You're amazing. Next week, please tag your friend so that we do this and we get to help each other more and more. So I hope this message has helped you to grow, has helped you to kura. And I can see my friend Ronnie Masilela from South Africa, wonderful man. It's really an honor having you on these shows as well. Thank you so much. And God bless you. See you next week.